YouTube, model railroader fans. I'm Ray. Welcome to Boeville and Newtown's vlog number 11 for 2016. Not a whole lot going on. One of the things that I was going to do tonight, I'm not going to end up doing. Pardon me a minute. Sorry. I didn't like how the camera was sitting. That's a little bit better. One of the things that I wanted to get into tonight, I'm not going to do yet, namely because of the fact that found it a couple weeks ago that my furnace went up. So I'm going to have to take some things apart down here and move some things around so that they can actually get the new unit, or get the old unit out and get the new unit in. They've also got to replace the ductwork over my head here, and you know. So, not going to, what I was going to do tonight was going to be a how did he do that? Here we go again. I was actually going to work on painting the inside of some of these buildings that the light is shining through, the roofs and the walls and things of that nature. I was actually going to take a before and after picture of the layout, you know, well, take a before picture of one of the houses or one of the buildings, go ahead, paint it up, and then put it back on the layout and then show that how it worked out. But not going to do that tonight because in the last vlog, at the end of it, you saw I was running trains. Well, I came across two issues. The first one was the Orient Express. For some reason, its passenger cars, the wheels started coming out of gauge and it jumped the track underneath of Boeville. Under downtown here, which is a pain to get to because I have to take the paneling off the side so I can actually get in there and get to the cars. And when I brought them out, I realized that the wheels had slipped. So I've already fixed that problem. But I noticed an issue with my Western Maryland BL-2. It's taking an awful lot of power to run it. I'm having to take and put the power pack. As you all know, I'm DC. I have to put the power pack up to like 80–90% to get it to even think about running right. So that's just a little too much power. I don't know what's wrong with it. So what we're going to do here in a minute is I'm going to go ahead and start going in and taking this thing apart. So we'll, since this is going to be a full maintenance run on this one here, unfortunately, I still haven't had a chance to update my sheets. I have found, I think I mentioned in vlog 11, I may not have, but I had found some information on that Varney locomotive, the Tyco locomotive, and the Boeville locomotive. Basically, all of them were done somewhere the mid to late 50s, early 60s. The Docksider, the Varney may have been later, towards the 1960-ish, but the other ones are definitely from the 50s. And obviously I do not run them, and I'm beginning to think that maybe I ought to take that Tyco locomotive and its cars and put them away someplace safe, because apparently they're on the rarer side. So all well and good. I like having them up here on the display case, but the more I think about it now, I'm like, you know what, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea just to box them back up and put them someplace safe. You know, go ahead and do maintenance on it one last time, make sure it's all good, and then just put it away. So without further interruption here, I'm going to go ahead and move the camera one more time, and we're going to get set up here, and we're going to do a full maintenance run on Mr. BL-2. And I know I'm shaking the bench and everything else, but c'est la vie. And you can't see me. Oh well, sorry. It's alright, nobody wants to look at my ugly mug anyways. So, first thing I'm going to do, as we've discussed in our other maintenance runs here, is I'm going to go ahead and pry the shell off the frame, hopefully without it snapping back on like it just did. And as you can see, this here, Lifelike, I think, took a little bit of a design thing from Athearn, which is kind of cool. It makes it real easy. It makes them real easy to work on. I thought I smelled something that was burnt in here, but apparently I didn't. Maybe I was mistaken. So the frame actually I know it's kind of tough to see, but the frame actually does look like it's an Athearn frame, but it's not. I don't think it's possible, but they've got the same type of clips and everything else on here. So, at any rate, what we're going to do is we're going to roll him over here a minute, and we're going to take a look. Actually, before I do that, you know what? Let's go ahead and set power up to this bad boy and see exactly what it's doing. Because as you know, I've got this wonderful power pack off to the side here. I just have to figure out. Aha! G on the first try. Okay, we're going to play games on me here tonight. Well, not only that, but I just noticed I've got a light bulb out. Oh, it's only the reverse one. Okay. It doesn't sound bad. But it definitely, I don't think, is running to its full potential here. So let's go ahead and take it apart. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the rear truck cover off here. Let's see what we've got. It actually doesn't look that bad. But it's overdue anyways, as is a lot of my stuff, because like I said, I haven't been down here to really... Now, this is the only thing that does stink, is the fact that unlike Athearn, what they did is they put this flexible... You guys can't see it. They put this flexible connector between the truck and the motor. Oh, that's cute. Oh, the whole thing just came apart on me. That's nice. That's actually kind of good, because there is grease caked up inside of here. So let me get my paper towel here. I'll need two of them. Let's go ahead and get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Okay. There's grease stuck down inside of here. Too bad. Now I know the wheels on this thing were actually replaced not that long ago. I'm sure that everybody is well aware that Lifelike at one point in time had gear issues where the gears would crack at the axles. Doesn't look too bad now. Stick him off to the side. So the gearing and the axles were replaced, I'd probably say 3-4 years ago, maybe. May have been longer than that. I'm at it. I'm going to go ahead and pull the jack shaft out and clean off the worm gear here. Preferably without losing the bearing. Slide that, hopefully. Oh, they make this so much fun. Oh, there's the key. Got it. Alright. Yeehaw. Now I just got to get it back on the... Get it slid back over to the... to the truck. Get it lined back up. Hopefully. Sorry, you can't see what I was trying to do there, but I was trying to get it lined back up. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and work with the other side of this first. 1 gear, 2 gears, and of course the 3rd gear. It's right there. Alright, see all the garbage up inside of there. So we'll clean that out of there. That looks pretty good. Clean off the gears before I put them back in. And there we go. Now, this is such a pain in the butt. Trying to get this all lined back up in here, considering the fact that I can't get it loose without desoldering it, which is not something I want to do. Now I have to kind of open that and drop them in, and bingo. Hey, hey. Put the cover back on that before it comes flying apart. There we go. Perfect. Lovely. Lovely. So the truck is back together. I'm going to go ahead and clean out the truck bottom here, because it had grease in it as well. Still. And then we'll put the wheels back in. Yay! That was nice. I'm trying to do is turn the, there we go, kind of turn the little bearing pieces so that they're flat, and of course I really can't show that real easily here. There we go. So you got these little metal pieces in here behind the wheels, and it really doesn't show up well on the camera, but there's these little metal pieces here, and they have to lay flat. So now we're ready for the grease. I was looking for one of my used toothpicks here. Ain't no point in using a new one. And we do that wonderful, that's the end of the toothpick on there. Make sure we get all the gears. And then we can put the box back on, or the cover back on rather. And since I'm working on that end of the locomotive, we'll pull out the oil. And we'll put a drop on that end. Drop on that end. While we're here, drop of oil on the bearing around the motor. That takes care of that end. Flip it over and we'll do it all over again. And this side was just as bad. Set. And the other wheel set. Gear case covered here. Now let's see, which way is this going to come apart? It should come apart. Why isn't it? Oh, come on, stop being such a pain in the butt. There it is. There it is. One gear. Second gear. Third gear. And boy, is there grease stuffed up inside of here. I think I'm going to have to use my screwdriver to get into this one a little bit deeper. Alright, that doesn't look too bad now. Let's see what we can do with this side. Alright, that doesn't look too bad now. Yeah, it was just a little bit gummed up, right? Put the gears back in here. So I don't lose them. Wonderful. Now, off the worm gear. One of these days I'll actually make this workbench work better. It's not going to be anytime soon. To where it'll be more like a desk. trying to line the keys back up. Each locomotive has its own idiosyncrasies, even when it's here on the bench. But you just have to persevere and overcome. That get off? Oy. That's not the part that came off. I have to go looking for that. Somehow or other I lost the, I'm sure it's on the floor here someplace, the coupler pocket. That's okay. Oh no, I didn't. There it is. I'm looking at the wrong coupler. No, that's the coupler that just came off the other end. Oh yeah, I'm just having a blast again tonight. I'll have to go looking for that later. Alright, line up our bearings again. Actually, I didn't clean the wheels out yet. I just noticed that. This wheel's still got garbage all over it. There we go, that looks better. There we go. There's one. And there's the other one. Well, almost. There it goes. Alright, so we're ready for some gear lube. Trying to get a little extra, get a little down inside there. Even though once it starts running, it should go through the locomotive, or go through all the gears. That's the reason why you don't want to put a whole lot. I know I keep saying don't put a whole lot, but you don't want to put a glob of grease in there. You just want to put enough to lubricate things. Now let's see. I just had the NMRA gauge sitting here. What the heck did I do? There it is. Check the wheel sets. There we go. Good, good. All the wheels are engaged. And we just have to put a drop of oil on the front gear. Much better. Much better. Alright, I'm going to stop it here for a minute. Take it over to layout and see what we got. So we'll be right back. Well, folks, it's running. I think it's running, actually running quite well. Sorry about the door being open there. That's my electrical panel. I mean, it's quiet. And instead of it running at 90%, now it's running at 80. I mean, I can probably back it down to 70. Alright, so now I've got the Rock Island and the Western Maryland, and they're both running at 70 or 60%. I'm going to move them up to 70. And see, the Rock Island is moving much better. It's 70%, but I think they're a little bit closer than what they were. Sorry about the movements. But I think we got it, folks. I'm just wondering if maybe my power pack is starting to go up on me. Hold on a minute. Alright, folks. Well, I think we're going to come to the end of vlog 12. You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you next time. Be safe out there.